Hello, everyone. We are going to get started in just another minute. And if you have questions, please go ahead and pop them into the chat throughout the presentation. Craig will be online answering them, and we'll also kind of take some time at the end for Q&A as well. So we'll get started in about another 30 seconds. All right, with that, welcome everyone. I'm Julie Kaveri, I'll be your host today. And I also have Craig Swearingen and Alejandro Rodriguez from our Latin team. So they'll be manning the chat. And like I said, go ahead and pop any questions into the chat. I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, share my presentation, and we will get going. All right, you should be seeing my title slide. And with that, thank you all for joining us today. Today, we're going to have an introduction to BricsCAD 26.1. As I mentioned, I'm your host today, and we will be taking questions, so pop them into the chat. And if you wouldn't mind, keep your microphones on mute. If we have Q&A at the end and you've got some questions, we can unmute them at that point. So thank you, and here we go. Our agenda today is just an introduction to BricsCAD, the true CAD alternative, and we'll jump right into a short demo on how BricsCAD is familiar and better. Then we'll look at the BricsCAD portfolio of products and take a high-level view of some of the what's new and improved in BricsCAD 26.1, and we'll finish up with a Q&A session. BricsCAD is the true CAD alternative. And when I say that, I mean it's the alternative, not one of many options, but the solution that directly addresses maybe some of those barriers that are keeping you maybe feeling trapped. And we believe that CAD should be accessible, not cost prohibitive, with licensing models that support the way that you work. BricsCAD is built on the industry standard DWG platform, and that's really important because it gives you seamless access to modify and share both your existing drawings and new drawings. Now, there's no conversion headaches, there's no file compatibility concerns, there's no long learning curve. Because it's built on DWG, this is familiar to existing AutoCAD users. And also because it's built on DWG, BricsCAD is an open platform that integrates easily into your existing environment, minimizing any workflow disruption. Most customization that's done in AutoCAD can be migrated right over to BricsCAD. And we're in this partnership with you. We're committed to your success, and we do that by focusing to deliver capabilities and features that matter to you. So where does BricsCAD fit? Well, we fit into this design development and detailed design areas of design and production. It's where concepts are refined and documentation takes shape. As the industry's leading solution for general purpose native DWG-based 2D and 3D design and drafting, BricsCAD empowers you to work smarter. And we deliver enhanced productivity at a better value than traditional CAD software. So here, if you haven't seen, this is AutoCAD, and here's BricsCAD. Let me do that one more time. Here's AutoCAD, and here's BricsCAD. You can see immediately how familiar and similar it is. Now, here is a view of AutoCAD on top, BricsCAD on the bottom. So you can see it is very, very similar. Now I'm going to play a very short introductory video to tell you and show you really just how similar this is. Welcome to BricsCAD, the true CAD alternative for drafting, modeling, and design. The BricsCAD launcher provides quick access to different workspaces so you can start in the environment that's right for you. Let's see how familiar BricsCAD is with a quick overview of the interface. Create a new drawing with a single click, or open an existing drawing and continue working. Use the ribbon to quickly access commands. Split buttons and menus expand to show related tools. Use panels to view and manage properties, layers, external references, and more. Toggle the panels on or off as needed. Ortho mode is toggled on and off from the status bar or by pressing the familiar F8 key. And set your favorite entity snaps from the status bar. If you use the command line, it's fully customizable. Float it or dock it, it's your choice. And if you need a little help with command names, start typing and BricsCAD provides suggestions. Do you need a quick eSnap? Use Shift right click to access the temporary eSnap menu. And F2 still opens your command history for easy reference. Quickly switch workspaces from the status bar. This automatically updates the ribbon to match the workflow and keeps relevant commands within reach. Click on a Layout tab to change from model space to paper space. Printing and plotting can be performed through several locations, including this print dialog. Set your options before creating a PDF or send the drawing to a physical printer or plotter. Layouts can be managed from the Layout Manager, and continue learning about BricsCAD with online courses at learning.brixis.com. All right, so that's a very quick introduction, and let's continue looking at how BricsCAD is familiar. Even our settings are familiar. All settings and most system variables are organized in a single, easy-to-use dialog box. Just type settings or options to open it, and you can view setting category by category alphabetically or filter to show only those changed from the default values. Plus, there's a powerful search feature to make it simple to find exactly what you need quickly. How do you manage content, styles, blocks, page setups, and more? In BricsCAD, all of that is managed in the Drawing Explorer. By default, the Open Drawings tab is displayed on the far left. These are all the drawings currently open. Now, this is important because information can be easily copied and pasted between these open drawings right from the Drawing Explorer. For blocks, use the search bar to find a particular block. Just start typing and BricsCAD finds that letter combination anywhere within the block name. Now it's easy to copy it from one drawing to another. And that block is immediately accessible in that drawing. All right, let's move on to some of the truly unique features of BricsCAD, starting with the quad. The quad is an AI-based tool palette right at your cursor. It predicts the command you'll likely need next based on how you've been using it, and recently used commands appear at the top row. So let's take a look by starting to draw a rectangle. Once drawn, hover back over the rectangle and you'll see in the top row that one of the options is offset. We can easily offset the rectangle. Select both, and one of the recently used options is hatch. Now, it's learned that I often use this sequence of commands. And if you're a fan of quick properties, you'll find the rollover tips very familiar. I've added scale to my rollover tips in hatch so I can quickly change the scale of the hatch pattern. And here's how you can do that. The quad keeps your focus on what you're creating on screen so you don't have to look for menus or toolbars. It's a huge productivity boost. Now here's an example of a simple floor plan with lines representing the walls and a block for the door. As you know, when drawing in CAD, we do a lot of copying and moving. Of course, we can still use the traditional copy and move commands. They haven't changed much since the beginning of CAD. And after copying the door block, you'd still need to trim back the wall lines. BricsCAD has improved upon these basic commands. With copy guided, the door block is not only copied, the lines are also trimmed as they were in my selection set. Copy Guided automatically aligns copied entities to matching geometry using what we call guide curves. And when the T-wall is included in the selection set, the door is placed at the same distance from matching T-walls. Now, deleting the door block doesn't repair the lines, But Move Guided can do double duty, first as an eraser, moving the door out of the wall and automatically healing the wall lines, or simply moving it to another location. Next, let's explore another powerful productivity tool, Blockify. Now, in this example, the scaffolding toe boards are still individual entities. With Blockify, we can convert them quickly into a block. And by enabling the Perform Background Scan option from within the Create Block dialog, BricsCAD automatically checks the drawing for existing block definitions. And if a match is found, it prompts you to run Blockify. Blockify streamlines block creation by identifying repeated geometry and offering you flexible control. You can zoom in on matches, navigate the drawing, and choose which instances to convert into blocks, one, some, none, or all. It's automation that saves time and ensures consistency. Now, no matter what CAD software program is used, drawings can get messy. They get sluggish, they contain duplicates of lines, blocks, styles, and other things. And you may already be familiar with Purge, Audit, Simplify, and Optimize tools. They're used to clean up drawings, but that can be time-consuming and tedious. BricsCAD's Drawing Health tool combines these individual tools into a single drawing health routine. Let's run a routine to purge unused entities, find and remove duplicate geometry and blocks. Now you have full control to purge unused blocks, layer styles, and more from the drawing. If you need to keep specific items, you can, or you can purge them all. Now there's good news. We're going to see that there's no duplicate geometry was found, but there are duplicate block definitions. Again, you control which block to keep or delete. If you're unsure about a specific block, zoom to the location in the drawing to take a closer look before making your decision. You can select the definition to keep or let BricsCAD decide. And at the end, a handy report is generated and can be exported to a text file to share with others. All right, that was a quick introduction to BricsCAD. Now let's look at the BricsCAD product portfolio. Are you wondering which BricsCAD is right for you? You can choose from a set of professional CAD and modeling tools made for engineers, builders, designers, architects, manufacturers, and more. Our unique AI-driven tools enhance productivity across the entire BricsCAD product range without compromising on the core functionality. Choose BricsCAD Lite for 2D drafting. It's professional, familiar, and DWG-based 2D CAD. Choose BricsCAD Pro if you need to add 3D modeling tools and/or third-party applications. It includes everything in Lite and adds these. Now, our land surveying tools are designed for the way surveyors work. It also is built on native DWG, so they ensure smooth, compatible workflows without the need for conversions. The platform supports point cloud, surface, and GIS formats like KML and XML, all in one place. And with direct integration to Leica Infinity Survey, data can be seamlessly imported into BricsCAD, saving time and reducing errors. Choose BricsCAD BIM for modeling and detail production in a single DWG-compatible platform. It's an intuitive BIM toolset for modeling and data exchange that simplifies BIM authoring. This makes it easier to collaborate, and remember, it's all based on DWG. Choose Mechanical to create 3D assemblies and 2D detailed documentation of manufactured products. It's designed to provide just the right amount of capability a manufacturer really needs without the daunting complexity and cost of traditional mechanical design products. BricsCAD is also a platform for developers to create their own third-party solutions to run right on BricsCAD. This extends workflows beyond what BricsCAD offers. And BricsCAD supports Lisp, .NET, BRX, and other APIs. Okay, that was a lot of information. So I have this chart here to help break down what is available in each of the product levels. So light, 2D, pro, 2D, 3D, point clouds, and civil survey, mechanical for the mechanical tool sets, BIM for the BIM tool sets, and then ultimate. Also, BricsCAD offers flexible licensing, including perpetual, subscription, and network. And these are just a few of the global industry leaders who choose BricsCAD, from construction, survey, structural and civil engineering, to manufacturing and Tier 1 automotive. We serve all industries. Okay, so what's new and improved in 26.1? In general, we've introduced new and improved features to streamline 2D drafting workflows, improve precision, and save time. BricsCAD now supports dynamic block creation and editing, and this represents a significant expansion of our capabilities. Now, at this time, these new capabilities are available everywhere except within the United States, and that's a patent limitation. So for those of you outside of the United States, you can create and edit AutoCAD dynamic blocks right in BricsCAD in experimental mode. Let's take a look. Now, here I've already enabled experimental mode, which, as I just said, is required. And we can see here, this is a dynamic block. Double-clicking the block takes us to the D-block editor mode. And once here, we can see that these are the B parameters and the B actions. Commands that are not functional during D-block editor mode are grayed out on the ribbon, so you know exactly what commands you can use. We've also included a handy block test mode, so you can test your dynamic block within D-block editor. Now here, this block has several visibility states. Let's do a simple edit to rename one of those visibility states to Palm Large Plan. That's it, and here it is. Now be sure to save your changes before exiting out of the D-block editor mode. Dynamic blocks made or edited in BricsCAD round trip with AutoCAD, making it easy to collaborate on projects. And here is that same tree that we made the change to the visibility states. Now I've just opened that drawing right within AutoCAD. So let's talk about what is and is not supported with dynamic blocks in 26. You can create specific types of dynamic blocks and edit specific actions of those blocks, starting with visibility states like we just saw in the previous example. These allow you to control which entities within that block are visible at any given time. Then we have the B parameters, which adds a parameter and a grip point, and the B actions, which adds an action to those parameters. And we have block tables. They make managing the parameters a little easier. So instead of multiple different combinations, you can have set specific options. So this really simplifies your blocks and makes the designs less complicated. And of course, we also saw the test block feature that you can test your block while you're in the editor. So while we can do all of that, we do have a few limitations. First, constraint parameters. They control how control block behavior by defining relationships or sizes dynamically. Those we cannot edit and we cannot create, but you can still manipulate any dynamic blocks with constraint parameters in BricsCAD, just like you've done previously. If you've seen V25 or earlier, we can still manipulate how those were designed, but we don't support editing them yet. And also the same with AutoCAD lookup tables. And they make it easier to choose options too. So it's a list of preset choices. And again, you can still use that block in BricsCAD. So you could pick an option from that table, but you won't be able to change or edit that lookup table yet in BricsCAD. All right, let's shift over to some other workflows, and starting with land surveyors. We've extended our ability to fit within wider workflows specifically with support for Open Geospatial Consortium format for geography markup language. Also, we've added some automation. Automation allows for greater consistency and accuracy. We've introduced a couple of new tools. One is auto mapping. Now, auto mapping allows you to automatically assign codes, attribute, and styles to your civil points in a click. And we've introduced a new cross-section feature, and this has been the #1 requested feature from our survey customers. So let's take a look at that. Now here in this example, I have a tin surface representing the existing terrain and design of a project. The first step is to define the alignment which we want to extrapolate from our sections from. And to see how my design grading interacts with the terrain, we'll start with the section lines command. Here I can choose the layer and the width for my sections, and we'll put that at every 20 meters along the alignment, and set the start, at the end of the area I want to cover with mine. And then once that's done, it's time to create the section views. Now BricsCAD automatically counts those, and in the Manage Data Sources option, we can see all the actual entities that we want to make visible in the sections. And let's place the section views on the side of our drawing and change the annotation scale for a better visualization. In the settings in the Civil Explorer, we've added the section view style, which can be customized according to your preferences. For example, by adjusting the vertical exaggeration. As with all of our settings, the label properties can display various entity attributes, and we can decide what information we want to show in our sections. In the display menu, we can customize or turn off some entities, and I'll get rid of the grid to make it look cleaner, and I can also change the color of the center axis. I need to apply these new parameters to the section view as created, and using select similar entities, you can quickly select all of those at once and make the change of the style from the default style to section. And with one click, my sections take on a more realistic and easier to read appearance. All right, what about changes? Well, let's start by splitting the screen into 2 views. And by selecting and dragging one of the section lines in the plan view, you can see it directly changes in the right viewport. This means that if something changes along the way, you don't need to redo the process from scratch. And what if we need to add new entities into our section? From the Civil Explorer, let's open the data source and add our solid to the list. Instantly, you'll see the wall being added to the section view. And of course, if you move the section line in plan, the wall will appear along every section that intersects. And to finish up, we've also added the option to create labels for the section views. By selecting a section, we can display the offset and elevation at the points of interest. Okay, what about point clouds? We've actually made quite a few improvements to point clouds. First of all, the Point Cloud Manager has been redesigned to be more intuitive, especially for pre-processing those point clouds. We've also updated how point clouds with geographic information are handled. We've made enhancements for generating ortho images and automatically generating lines from point clouds, and also made improvements to visualization and how we work with the Leica LGSX formats. Be sure to check out the videos on our website to see some of these tools in action. For manufacturing, it's improvements to customers' overall engineering manufacturing processes. How? Well, these are just a couple of examples. We've enhanced power dimensions and the automatic chamfer tool. We've improved performance in sheet metal unfolding. Also improved the welding dialog box to make welding design faster, more intuitive, and fully compliant with the 4 global standards. Zoom and highlight can locate parts faster in your large drawings. And now let's take a look at improvements in that sheet metal unfolding. To begin, let's run the SM convert command on this imported part. Notice the form feature at the edge is not recognized. To fix it, we'll adjust a new setting, SM convert maximal extrusion depth near border. This controls how far a form feature can extend near borders and still be classified. And to finish up, we'll rerun that SM convert and notice that the edge touching form is now correctly recognized, ready for unfold and manufacturing. For building subcontractors, particularly as they relate to the AEC building and construction industries, we've rebuilt the way project data is managed in the bsyslib so that the changes flow automatically to all drawings in the project. And IFC models now can be attached as an XREF to help reduce file size and make it easier to control changes to the model. When the IFC model changes, simply replace the model and update the underlay. Often, subcontractors don't need to edit design geometry. They just need to reference it. And that's why in 26.1, we've introduced the IFC as an XREF, just like any other DWG workflow that you're already familiar with. At import, check Import IFC file as an underlay, and BricsCAD will place the IFC in an underlays folder within your project directory, generate a DWG in the background, and attach it to your drawing as an XREF. You can also choose how to align your reference points from the IFC. The global origin, project location, or site location can be aligned in your drawing to the WCS origin, survey location, project location, or site location. Click Import and you're ready to go. And now you can refine your own deliverables while referencing external data, toggle visibility in the attachments panel, or view your content in the structure browser. And when you export, only your trades data is included. All right, so I do want to point out a lot of videos and new features are on our website. You may know that we launched BricsCAD 26 just about a month ago, and I encourage you to check out our website. Here are the breakout sessions. And here I do want to point out, if you're looking for more information on point clouds, these are 2 excellent breakout sessions. Point clouds in building focused workflows and point cloud in pro. So one of the other changes to point clouds that I do want to point out is you no longer need to save your file before you process a point cloud. That's something that always got me in the past. So that's there as well. And a lot of great information on our website. Again, you can filter the breakouts on whatever tool set you're looking to work with. As always, you can reach out, scan the QR code for more information. And with that, I will open it up to questions. Craig, Alejandro, do we have any questions?
No questions, Julie.
No questions?
No questions. Yeah, your presentation must have been that great.
No
But
questions.
there are no questions.
No.
No questions. Yeah.
Somebody,
if
come
anybody,
on.
Yeah, if anybody has a question, feel free to use the chat feature, or we have the availability to take yourself off mute and ask the question directly to Julie or the Brixis team.
Yeah, come on. And thank you for putting those links in, Craig, into the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. As Julie mentioned, links to what's new in V26 as well as the breakout sessions are in the chat.
All right, one more, going once more. Questions? Any questions?
I think just to reiterate, every enhancement that we place in the program is designed to help everybody deliver their projects in less time with fewer clicks. So I think the AI tools like Blockify and really drawing health, being able to combine all of those tools into one uh, really driven and focused tool helps you get your design out quicker and really reduces the size of your drawings, not just for you, but for everybody. So thank you, Julie, once again.
Sure, no problem. Well, thank you all for attending. And if you sure nobody has a question, then we're going to call it a wrap. Thank you all for attending, and we'll reach out with any questions. Thank you all.